Welcome to the 9th step of the 15 steps to freedom. We're to bitter herbs, maror. Now, the Jewish people that lived through the slavery and subsequently the Exodus, they understood very well the suffering they'd been through. So eating a bit of horseradish, a bit of maror, wasn't going to add anything. They were living through it. Now, on the flip side, nowadays, when we eat a bit of horseradish, it's not going to recreate the experience of the suffering that our ancestors went through. So, what is the goal? What's the point of the maror? So, our ancestors, they could have had the thought that, you know what, let's not think about the suffering, let's just blot it out. And so to those that survived the Holocaust, they just don't want to talk about it, bottle it all up, and that's the best way to deal with it, which, as we know, is not always so healthy. But on the flip side, we don't want to talk about it all the time, all the suffering and everything that people went through, because then it will consume us. So we have to have a balance. It needs to be on the Seder plate. It needs to have its place. We need to know there is suffering in the world. We need to talk about it. But we're not going to spend the whole Seder crying, so we're just going to put a bit of horseradish, bitter herbs, to remind us that it is unfortunately a part of life and Jewish history that there is suffering, and everyone will have their down and their dark moments, their maror moments, and we need to know to look out for people that are going through those stages to help them through it, because unfortunately we all will suffer at some point a bereavement or some sad news. And we pray that when we say the Shana Bab Yushalayim next year in Jerusalem, this really should be the end of all suffering. We won't need any maror anymore. But in the meantime, this is part of God's system, God's plan. Why we have it, we don't want it, we don't know why. For whatever reason, it is part of life. But we pray that it should come to an end speedily in our days. Stay safe.